Hey guys, just wanted to do a quick video. I'm gonna make some beef jerky. I saw a lot of recipes on the internet, and I thought I'd give it a go. So we're gonna mix in some ingredients here, some little bit of red wine, a little bit of soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, onion powder, ground black pepper, and we're gonna add some coarse ground pepper right at the end. And also you can add garlic powder, but I'm gonna use fresh garlic. I'm gonna stick it in this one of these plastic bags, and we're gonna seal it up in there so it can marinate nicely overnight, or as I said, for at least 10 to 12 hours, and then tomorrow in the morning we're gonna chuck it into the dehydrator. Okay, so we're gonna mix in the ingredients now. Okay, we're gonna go this is a half a cup measure. So we're gonna go 1 cup of soy sauce. We're gonna go half a cup of Worcestershire sauce. This is just my recipe, but I thought I'd put it in. That's my taste, but you can obviously add or subtract ingredients. It's really up to you. We're gonna go 2 teaspoons of onion powder. So we're going to stick the garlic now. Some people use garlic powder, but I got heaps of garlic in the fridge, so I thought I'd use it up. I'm just going to use the fresh stuff, which is fresh is best as far as I'm concerned. The last one goes in. Ground black pepper. I think I'm just going to put 1 teaspoon, 1 heaped teaspoon. Okay. The coarse ground pepper I will add to the end after the beef has been marinating. We take it out, we dry it, and then put a bit of coarse ground pepper over the top before we put it into the dehydrator. Another ingredient, brown sugar. Now, so I'm just going to add 1 cup of brown sugar. So this will counteract the saltiness of the soy sauce, and it'll probably tenderize the meat. Gonna give this a good mix. I might just add half a cup of water just to thin it out a little bit. We gotta add the red wine yet. Half a cup of water, just to help dissolve that sugar. Yummy. It smells pretty good. Okay, we're dissolving, mixing up all these nice ingredients. Get them all nicely blended in. That cup of water really helped to dissolve the sugar. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll get the meat out. We're going to cut it in strips about 1 inch wide, and however long it is to cut, and then we'll marinate it, we'll mix it in, put it in the bag, stick it in the fridge, and we'll let it marinate. Alright guys, cheers. Okay, we'll get the meat out. Okay. Now to turn this into a gourmet beef jerky recipe, we're going to add a bit of wine. So we're just going to add half a cup of wine. Mix that in. Alright, now to our beef. I got 600, just over 600 grams of pretty lean beef. You can't have a lot of fat in your jerky because it goes off, it goes rancid. So I got this beef schnitzel, hard smart, lean and tasty. So it should be nice and tender, not cut too thick. Looks like it's about 4 or 5 mil thick. No fat on it whatsoever. If there is any fat, I'm just gonna trim it off. So just gonna check it out. It looks pretty lean and mean. So we got pieces that are about that long. Absolutely no fat on it whatsoever. So I'm just going to cut them, the bigger pieces I'm going to cut in half. Okay, you can see it's about 4 or 5 mil thick, and we want them in thin strips. So and that just goes into our marinade. Wow. Remember guys, this is going to be sitting in there. I'll cut this one in half. This is going to be sitting in there for the better part of 12 hours. Just basically overnight. I'm going to stick it in the fridge. The dehydrator, the pieces are pretty big now, but the dehydrator is going to make them shrink. So there's hardly any fat on it whatsoever. So they're pretty lean and mean, which is nice. Okay. They go straight in the mix. Wow, they're gonna absorb all those nice flavors, all those juices. I've seen a couple of recipes where people add salt, but because the majority of this recipe is soy sauce, I'm not gonna add any salt whatsoever. Soy sauce is pretty salty as it is. Alright, just one more large piece to cut. Wow guys, this is gonna be good. Tell you what, this smells absolutely bloody beautiful. Alright, so now we just gotta make sure all our pieces are well and truly covered and mixed in into our marinade. I'll tell you what, guys, this is going to be good, I can tell. Perfect way of preserving meat. So say you go hunting, get yourself a deer. You would eat a lot of the meat. You would eat it fresh, but then if you don't have refrigeration, it's not gonna keep. So you'd be full for 2 days eating all this fresh meat. But then unless you do something with it, turn it into sausages and smoke them, for example. Or you know, trimming it into small strips and preserving it, but by making beef jerky like the American Indians used to make. That's how they preserve their meat. They used to smoke it, kill an animal, strip the flesh into small thin strips, and then just smoking it and then drying it out in the open. And that way the meat would be preserved and it would keep for longer. They'd be able to eat it. Obviously they had no refrigeration. I imagine during the year when it's cold weather they would be able to keep the meat a bit longer, but they soon discovered that they had to preserve it in some way, and they discovered that by smoking it, it would keep. And so eventually they used to dry the meat out in the open, just on a fallen tree, or they would make a stand of some sort out of wood, and then they would dry it out and it would be preserved. So if they did it hundreds of years ago, then I'm sure we'll be able to manage nowadays. Our meat is sitting in all this yummy marinade. Now we're just gonna give it a turn, make sure all that garlic and all those spices are covering every single bit of this meat. So the liquid is just enough to cover the meat. Okay, just enough to cover the meat in the bowl here. But once we put it in our bag, it's going to be sitting in there. We're going to squeeze it, get all the air out. And then all the liquid is going to be sitting around it. It won't be able to get away. It's going to be covered in it, and it's going to be absorbing all the flavors. Yum-ho. Now this is a bit of a sensitive part of the operation. Cannot afford any spillages. So we're gonna do this as carefully as we can, otherwise we'll have ourselves a domestic. Here we go. Put these pieces in here. You can really smell the Worcestershire sauce. Put all our meat in the bag. Okay. Gonna get all the air out as much as we can. These Ziploc bags, I just bought them at Woolies. They were on special. I got a pack of 15 for $2.79. I think these are too big actually. I'll probably get, this will be good for about a kilo, maybe a kilo and a half of beef. And it's just over half a kilo of meat. And it's plenty big enough. It's got double Ziploc. That's not going anywhere. There we go, guys, look at that. Marinating like a marinating process should be. I'll give it 12 hours in the fridge. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll come and turn it over a couple of times so all the juices permeate. There we go. They're continuously marinating. Completely covered. Swimming in it. Garlic pieces everywhere. Pepper. Red wine. Okay guys, our meat's in the fridge. We're going to let it sit there overnight marinating. In the morning we're going to get it out. We're going to patch dry it with paper towels before we put it into the dehydrator. We'll put a little bit of coarse black pepper on both sides, just a little bit. We'll stick it in the dehydrator and it'll probably be 10 to 12 hours, I really don't know. But I just wanted to say cheers, thanks for watching, and we'll cut away and we'll show the next step once the meat's been marinating overnight. Cheers guys, thanks for watching. Beautiful.